Alright, welcome back once again to game number 2 of this best of 2 series between Wings and EHOME.L. This is going to be the coverage of the Dota 2 Professional League group stages. We had a little bit of a remake here, but we are back in with the Dota action here. I'm Annie, that's Pax. What's up, man?
It looks like have shifted things up a little bit here. I guess the IO ban must have been the Timbersaw ban must have been a mistake too. Not sure how though. They had reserve time. I don't know if they were allowed to switch that up, but they did. So get used to it. Now, if they had to be, if they do go for like that IO Dazzle combination, that is something that you'll see like OG run. That's one of their more signature strats when you are going for something, especially like the Huskar. But the whole general idea is just like one really solid DPS hero, and then just two massive saving mechanisms, right? You got the Shallow Grave, you got the Relocate saves as well. This would just be like OG Dota in a nutshell, but not gonna be happening for now. Does seem that they are a little bit wary about something like that Huskar though, but rather than just straight up banning it out, they just kind of remove something that makes it ridiculously good. It's also a combo that they did run exactly when they did do the Huskar, but it's a support duo they'll do with like their Death Prophet, right? Trying to keep her up and active. Ember Spirit, they've done that before too. So again, EHOME doing their homework, but now the Timbersaw is back in the pool, and having been removed before, I wonder if that means that like EHOME could look for it for themselves as a delivery vehicle for that Lifestealer.
Yeah, we're gonna have to see here as EHOME, they are gonna actually go ahead and get to ban here. Maybe not banning out that Timber, maybe going back for it here, we're gonna see. But again, Wings, they still do need to pick up a mid laner unless we're gonna see the bat mid. We talked about the Puck. Are there any other viable options for them?
When you have the Bat Rider, he's offering a lot of control out of the off lanes, and then we can start to look towards more of some of like our damage in the mid. It could be just the Queen of Pain for Wings is always pretty solid. It's good against armlet heroes like that Lifestealer. Throw that out. As soon as he starts getting low, it's very difficult for him to try and find his way through that. And then we talked about the DK being the other big one, and not going to be banned out here by EHOME. So if they don't go for that first, then I would just like that really solid strategy, and then you can go into a really deep position one hero, right? I mean, you can go into something that's just pure damage. They've done the Weaver before, would fit into that category. Even like the potential Drow strat is still there from Wings Gaming.
Actually, the Drow strat is pretty decent here. You got the Bat Rider, you got the Dazzle. You could pick up something like a Windrunner for the mid and grab that Drow, but that might be a bit transparent. I feel like EHOME, they could ban that out. We're gonna see here, going into third pick, not gonna be a Shadow Shaman most likely, but they do need, again, some sort of transport vessel for the Lifestealer. Could be the Axe if they wanted to go and negate the Dazzle Shallow Grave. And Axe is a really nice combo there. You go in, you have the Lifestealer who's armleted up inside the Axe, who has the Blade Mail and Blink, dive deep, get a call, get a kill. We'll see what's gonna happen there as EHOME taking their time with this one. What do you think?
Yeah, no, Axe is pretty solid. I would be a little bit concerned only because of I think it's going to be coming really early from Wings, like the overall pressure, and I'm not sure how well an Axe will be able to rotate, but it is a combo that they've done before, so it could be something that they're just comfortable enough with. They want to go for that big jump play. I just see like this ban outcome with the Winter Wyvern, and I'm just thinking like Lycan's already banned. We all know Beastmaster's already banned, so it's not like they're worried about some sort of a specific counter in that sense. They're just worried that like these guys are building 5-man strategy. There's no other reason to be banning out a Winter Wyvern right now. So Drow lineup is looking like the most likely one, simply because of that like pure physical damage reduction with the Winter Wyvern. But the other big one, and just like DK plus Weaver or something like that, is just as potent. And so they go for the AA, and that's a really good read, right? Because they're just seeing that, all right, you guys are looking to group up here, so we're going to try and use this as some sort of mechanism to avoid that.
I see it. The Vengeful Spirit is such an indicator of the Drow strat. Every time I've seen Drow picked up in this tournament, they've got Avenge as a support because she scales so well with that precision aura damage. And EHOME.L, they've got one ban to get out the Drow Ranger. Hopefully they see this in time, because if not, I'm like 80% sure we have got like a Windrunner mid, Bat Rider off, Drow as the core.
Yeah. Unless they're going to deny pick it here, they'll certainly take it in the fourth slot if that's what they want from Wings Gaming. It's the most likely pairing. It's the most common reason we see the Vengeful Spirit picked up these days. So, and then they just have so many options for the mid. It doesn't even matter if they like end up banning out like that Wind Ranger. One of the more popular ones, you can just go right back for like the Queen of Pain. Again, fantastic with the Drow lineup. And works up really well up against this Lifestealer as well as the Doom.
And EHOME, they like back themselves into a corner because the only one that would benefit so far from the Drow is the Ancient Apparition, who hits like a noodle anyway. So EHOME, if they are forced to pick up the Drow here, it's going to be a big hit to their draft. They're not going to get enough space for their Lifestealer, so I think Wings...
Yeah, there's just like no way.
Wings just got away with a Drow strat here. 4 picks in.
Yeah, now the idea becomes like, what sort of a hero can we use to actually get into these back lines, try and focus down that drow. Some teams will look towards like a Slark. It's a pretty common one. It's okay here. They have the Dazzle, they have the Swap, so they have some mechanism to try and save, but it's good up against the Bat Rider.
But they already have
It's going to allow you
Lifestealer.
to get the Shadow Blade. Yeah, it's still like, I don't know.
Do or die.
I would still even try like dual lanes, honestly, at this point, but I'll go
Oh,
with a Wings Gaming special in the Veno.
all right. I mean, maybe the Veno they were looking at, like EHOME trying to soft deny Wings' last pick for their mid, because Veno mid is pretty good. There we go. Called out. Want a pat on the back for that one, but I I don't think the Veno is big enough to control this, and it's most likely going to be support Veno. I don't think they run it mid, but anything goes at this point. I think EHOME, they're now at their keyboard scrambling, like, oh crap, Wings are going to have such an early peak. They're going to just kill us over and over again. How do we just put a slight brake pedal on this?
5 seconds remaining.
It's a tough call. The mid Veno is someone who just comes online early enough, right? So throw that in the mid lane, try and keep the pressure there. A little bit postponed. Make sure it's not the first tower that goes down with the constant Veno spam.
10 seconds.
Last ban.
Do we see the manly Venomancer build or the unmanly? Do we see max wards or just going in with those poison shots?
Probably the wards, like all the way,
Oh,
just wards
so
and
unmanly.
Veil. Yeah. And there goes their tower push that they need. It's just why Wind Ranger's always picked up as like the prime hero for a Drow strat. It's because she offers something that not a lot of other mids do, and she benefits so heavily from the Drow Orb. She just right clicks the tower, presses that R button, it goes down, and then you have to look into something instead like that Queen of Pain here.
Could be could be a Shadow Fiend. Like, we don't see it picked up a lot, but the amount of damage he'd be able to just toss out, like, one raise, 2 hits, Ancient Apparition is dead at any point in the game.
Yeah, that's true. He does get in some mad damage there.
But, I mean,
Like,
they
up
still
against
got
a Veno.
options. They could still go for something like a Puck, although Puck doesn't really offer as much damage. You'd rely too heavily on the Drow there, so I think someone ranged in the mid that can just really benefit from that Precision Aura and can offer up another core for Wings.
It might actually be more beneficial too if they, because they lose out on that Wind Ranger. That Dragon Knight's actually still very good for them. You can worry about the Ancient Apparition aura because you're going for an Armlet hero, not aura rather, but the ultimate. So that could be one reason they might not want to do it. But he does survive up very well up against those Veno wards, and it's going to be really hard because you already know it's going to be a 1v1. You're not going to get any help in the mid lane. Maybe you'll get a TP save from a Dazzle, but there's no 4 roll that's really roaming in there. Maybe one smoke gank. It has to be someone that can do their part in the mid. And anyone else that kind of fits that role, like Death Prophet, we already talked about the Dragon Knight, but they're all going to be impacted pretty heavily from the from the AA class. Okay, the mid brood.
Brood off, bat, mid, Drow, carry, Dazzle, Babysitter, Venge, roaming?
It might just be brood mid as well.
God damn. Wings, I love this. We talked a little bit about in the past series how some of the top tier Chinese teams, they have time to now get creative and experiment. Wings, they're heading over to Manila in like a couple of days, and they gotta start going with these creative drafts, and this is creative if I've ever seen it. I love it. Good God.
Oh, they do get some aggression though. They're coming back for that Slardar pick, and that'll be the delivery vehicle. So your off lane hero. This Doom has a little bit of pressure here. Try and like save these lanes. Just make sure they don't get out of control, especially the Brood. But their only tracking mechanism will be the Slardar. They don't have the clear. Venomancer's all single target when it comes to like actually creeps. Like, yeah, you can gale them all, but of course when it comes to like your right clicks, they're not going to be helping you out all too much. So definitely in a hole here from eHome Luminous, but what do they need to get going? Early auras on the Doom, early levels on the Venomancer, push into the towers. Maybe some fortunate ultimates coming out from the Ancient Apparition would be kind of handy, but they certainly have a very uphill battle to go through.
Yeah, but again, picking the Brood into the AA is a bit risky. If Brood goes in with that insatiable hunger with a bunch of spiderlings, AA can just drop the bomb and get a huge payday, and that's going to be a fast Ags. And I think it is Faith Beyond playing the Brood, so I'm anticipating offlane, but maybe it's just a comfort pick to take it mid. I'm not quite sure what you do here, as Batrider, he has shared Tango, so I think it's mid-bat.
Yeah, that's going to be a pretty rough lane for him. The early levels are fine, but if he gets into too much harass, like obviously his right click's awful. It's one of the worst things about Batrider, so he's a very hard time actually dealing with these wards. Even when they're like level 2, he would take... even when they're level 1, he's going to take like 3 right clicks to kill one. So he's going to need like a permanent member here then. So the benefit being they are going to send that Lifestealer up into the off lane. Yeah, and they have to commit someone mid for the majority of the time because the Batrider will just have a totally awful time. He'll just end up getting ganked by like a single running in Doom. He even has the boots first. Just go for like Infernal Blade plays or a single creep spell too. They have so much to play with on the side of Wings. Like their lanes are just a lot easier. It's much harder for EHOME to actually punish them. They're just trying to survive this damn laning stage.
Speaking of punish, we are going to have a fight here on the runes. Everyone wants this top. They go into the Chilling Touch. Now Shadow taking some damage here. Will get slapped up. They are going to get the kill on the Drow. She's trying to fight. Can she take anyone with her? There is going to be a 1-for-1 trade, but the first blood goes the way of the Ancient Apparition, courtesy of that Chilling Touch. Now they're looking for freeze here. Veno is slow. No real way to get out of here. Pops up a Tango. I think they got the damage to get this done. They do have the missile in 1 second. They will commit it, so it is going to end up being a 2-for-1, but losing the Drow that early on is pretty not that great. And in terms of rune split, the runes did end up going both in favor of the Radiant.
Yeah, totally tilting over this fight recap. 266 gold for the Dazzle, 237 for the Venge, so very pleased. Drow doesn't end up losing anything because she spent all her gold anyway. That was a... that was gonna be
oh man,
lost
Lifestealer is gonna have the worst time of his freaking life here. Ice going in with that missile. They get the block. Can they get the kill on the Lifestealer? They go in the Chilling Touch, trying to protect him. It's gonna be a kill on the Venge. Venge now 201 at 53 seconds in the game. That is so painful.
Yeah, look at this little fake out play they did too. Putting the spider web into the mid lane.
Yeah.
Try and make them think that it might be the Brood in the mid. Kind of cutesy play here, but this is what we're gonna talk about. Like already the harassing is starting to come up from freeze, so the Doom will be here. But as long as they can keep like killing up on this Lifestealer, it might be enough to just draw the Doom's attention top, so that the Batrider will have like a somewhat decent time. He's certainly not gonna win this lane, but as long as he doesn't get killed over and over, not going to worry too much about his Blink Dagger, then he'll be pretty happy about how she goes.
Okay, here, so we've got the mid Veno, who is going to go for the Venomous Gale first. Again, wouldn't be surprised to see wards up next, trying to make it at least a little bit less hospitable to walk up onto the high ground, but we talked about Batrider having kind of a rough time, but so far he's actually hitting the Veno by, like, all of it. Veno is 1-1 for hit deny.
Yeah, I'm not even sure how that's, like, not even possible. I'm not sure how that's going down. Batrider has like quite literally the worst right click in the game. I mean, I know he's got the Drought Aura, but I'm still shocked that even that's enough.
Vengeful Spirit going in, being cheeky there, stunning up the AA, so he can't grab the rune. AA actually getting quite low. Let's see if anyone rotates for this. AA walking on through, going into some unfriendly territory, but may end up getting some help. Wants to deny to tower, I guess? No? Okay, just walking around. We'll walk down to safety, and Ice. Now gonna go in. They do have the Batrider there, but Batrider's not level 6. AA eats the self. Now back to full health. Maybe want to initiate onto Venge, but no. Forcing her back. Meanwhile, up top, we've got the Doom in some trouble as Drow once again goes in with those frost arrows, getting the slow. Doom, he has shoes. He's kind of speedy. Innocence does have that poison touch. If it can connect, there is going to be a TP out. No way to cancel it for now as Drow doesn't have the gust.
Yeah, and this mid lane is just like, it's so hard. He has to go for the early point to the Gale because he's scared about the potential kill because he's a full level now behind this Batrider. It's like over mid. Like, this lane should have been something that just went really easy for the Venom with just even like a semblance of help, but without having the wards early on and now needing to go into the Gale to make sure he doesn't die, it's just like total domination by the Batrider. He's just going to kill this Venom over and over if he ever walks into this river.
And Lifestealer has been effectively taken out of that lane here. He's going into the jungle to try to get some farm back, which is really the only place you can put him. But that means Doom in the offlane will consistently take harass. He is going to pick up his level 3, but he's just really not in a position to get online at any point soon. He's not going to get items, he's not going to get raid boss status, and Drow is having the time of her life here. She's keeping up in terms of last hits, slightly behind. She's got 16 to Slardar's 20, but she's already got herself 3 assists.
Yeah, they've had to send the Lifestealer into the mid lane. And this is a matchup that we see so often now in that off lane with the Rage being able to take off the Napalm. Harass up top here again, but he'll of course be fine. So he'll have a little bit of a better time, but the level's already like up to 5. The Drow Aura as well. Like typically this goes somewhat okay for the lifestealer, right? He just panics, presses Q, and runs away.
Bottom
but-
lane, Broodmother, the cheeky plays, trying to get the kill onto AA, not quite able to do it. There's going to be a rotation up. They might get the Doom here. Innocence taking an Infernal Blade. He's burning, but Ice is going to come in. They do have the missile. They've got the Batrider as well, just zipping on through. Super speedy. And Vengeful Spirit ends up getting a killing spree off of this. That is just vicious.
I feel bad for anyone out there that they be betting on the old EHOME to take this one.
I mean, we can't
Game
call
number
it just
2.
yet. There's always a possibility that Drow just plummets off a cliff, or, you know, always the possibility that Shadow's computer just gets eaten by bears, and he has to
That would
forfeit
be
the
their best
tournament.
chance.
Well, Batrider here will get feasted on in the mid lane. Maybe they drop this. There is going to be the Poison Touch popped out. I think Batrider will be okay. He goes in with a Tango, and there is going to be a Rage Away, popping off those Napalm charges, and Batrider ends up getting out completely fine. They're actually smoking up, looking to turn this. Batrider doesn't have the lasso, but maybe he's waiting on... Actually, I'm not quite sure what he's waiting on. I don't know why he participated in that smoke. Either way, down bottom, you've got Faith Beyond at the ready with like 1,000 spiders, and they can just go in on the slaughter. There will be a nice crush, but oh, preventing the crush! They get him down before he has a chance to react. Broodmother is just a machine here, and now that's going to be a free tier 1. There's really nothing they can do against this.
Yeah, I mean, EHOME are just being pulled in every single direction. They have to send a support mid, or they have to change up their lane because of how the Batrider was going, and just the very initial start to that. The top lane, the Lifestealer goes down right away, so the AA has to rotate up top. Slider gets left alone against a Brood. I mean, that's pretty much it. Like, the tower's forfeit, without a question at this point. I brought down the supports, and they can't even punish this Drow Ranger. Like, yeah, she's alone, but you're going to run Scorched Earth.
Nice
Don't
gust
think
there.
that's
We'll
gonna
buy her
work.
some time. She's going to go through. Again, the Frost Arrow is doing so much work. Going to be killing a Doom underneath his own Scorched Earth, and 2 more hits. It'll get done. Needs the vision. Doom trying to buy some time here. He's going to pop him with that stick, and now actually Shadow may have overcommitted. They're going to be rotating to more Radiant Heroes, dropping the Shockwave, but oh man, Shadow with that gobble up of the stick charges, looking for more, eats a salve, chasing down the Ancient Apparition. This could be huge here. She is going to be sitting on that gust at the ready if she needs to get the silence off to make sure no TPs come out.
Dazzle has the TP too, and once the Lifestealer shows.
Well, Lifestealer is going to show there, and we'll see if there's going to be help. The Gust coming out, buying some time, forcing back the Lifestealer. Lifestealer isn't able to pop off the open wounds before that, so Drow gets away completely free, just having the time of her life. The score is 1-6, and that is just telling the story of the whole game.
Yeah, they're also saving the point down bottom, seeing if they can get an early lasso, and they're going to go for it.
Boom. Underneath the tier 2 tower, it's 6 minutes in, they might be able to take out Un. They do have the lasso, but no blink. Batrider is just not quite speedy enough to take that. There is going to be the Dazzle healing everyone up. They're cutting the wave for the tier 2. This is so far ahead from Wings. Looking at the gold, it's already almost a 4,000 gold advantage.
Yeah, at least with the 3 heroes bottom, or rather 4 I suppose, the Brood actually making her face and presence known, they can just kill the Drow up top, and I do believe he can slink himself away. The one thing they are lacking ever so slightly would be stuns, right? You got Lasso, and then you've got your Magic Missile, at least when it comes to things holding them in place here, so they'll pressure this tower. There's just like nothing that EHOME can do. They have to forfeit this entire bottom lane. It means they're forfeiting their entire jungle. All they can do is spam wards in the mid lane. He now finally has them up to level 3, but it doesn't matter because the Batrider's gone. So this whole like survivable mid laner that might be able to help with a bit of D push or controlling the lanes just does not work out at all. You look towards your Lifestealer to be something for your squad, but he's running a Blightstone with his phase boots.
Yeah, I mean,
It's going to be a very hard game.
you compare that to the Drow's farm here. She's got herself some treads. She's going to be picking up some goodies pretty soon. And I mean, the Broodmother even already has the completed Midas and Soul Ring. Now the Gust comes out, and Doom, he's looking for something here. He has the Infernal Blade. He's only level 4, so no ultimate. Now, Drow is going to get sandwiched up. She could end up going down here for the 3rd time. In fact, maybe the play. They have the Shallow Grave. Clutch play by the Dazzle. Able to get it off just in time, but it's only level 1. Can Drow end up living through this? Nice Gust will buy her some time. Lifestealer has the phase. He's chasing. Drow Ranger only has those power treads, so I think she may end up going down. As Lifestealer chases deep, actually backs off, tries to get the Infest Bomb, but that costs him some valuable space. He's still chasing, he's still going, but another Gust will secure the kill. Now Dazzle rotates in, they're gonna get the turn on this. Lifestealer just went way too deep, and Shadow able to capitalize off of that. We do have Freeze here with an Invis Rune, looking for the pick off on Drow in the back lines, but Drow might end up being okay here. What?
Yeah. It's 8-2. There's an Invis Veno trying to find something in the jungle. Maybe the creeps will harass down our Batrider enough, but I'm not too sure. This would be like the most fantastic Veno pick for him, but he's not going to find it. So The bottom tower stayed. The Slider is actually contesting. I gotta say I'm a little bit surprised here, but Faith showing a little bit of a maybe mercy here. He's got his Soul Ring up. He's got his Midas. See if he wants to go for like the Bulba Dota build, going to our Dagon. They're so far ahead.
I mean, at this point, why not? Like, you can try some crazy stuff because there's so much space to lose if you're Wings that if things start going south, you have that reaction time to be like, all right, this isn't working, regroup, try again.
Yeah, more than likely it'll just be the... actually, I don't know. He's definitely going to be buying a BKB, so the Echo Saber is the more standard one lately. That's what I've seen most of our Broodmothers going for. Seems to be pretty cool. Kind of a nice little attack speed boost. Helps up your farm. I could see her going for that, and then usually it's like Echo Saber Deso will be the standard build. So like Echo Saber, BKB, Deso. Pretty good. Should have plenty of space to get it, as the rest of her squad can just start grouping up here with that lasso, our Blink Daggers, and the stash, ready for our Bat Rider. Someone pool this man a smoke widget. He's too poor. Just got the money for that Blink. Help a guy out here. Is anyone? Oh, Dazzle's holding in the mid lane. What a nice guy.
Alright, now we are going to have, speaking of Blink, Slardar saving up, but not going to be in time to even get the contest on this tower, and he's got the threat of the Crush. The Crush is now committed, so I wouldn't be surprised to see Spiderlings go in for Harass. Faith Beyond playing really safe here. This Brood is executing fantastically. She has just gone in, she made so much space, applying so much pressure, she's keeping Slardar occupied continuously. Now Dire, they're smoking up, they're looking for something here. Freeze will be the unlucky victim, dragged back underneath his own tier 1 tower. Ain't no rest for the wicked as Wings just continue to get pickoffs all around the map. 2 and 9 is the kill score at 10 minutes in the game. Net worth is now well over 5,000 in Wings' favor.
Yeah, this is just looking like a fantastic draft from Wings, honestly. They read the situation, saw the first 2 picks, and we're like, hey, why don't we just ban Winter Wyvern and pick Drow? Like, that's really all it comes down to. There's just no other support that can do it. AA is okay, but time and time again, we've already talked about this once today, but AA not getting those early levels
AA's level
doesn't
4.
do a thing. Exactly. Like, it doesn't matter. If you don't have someone who can rotate in the jungle and you
wait.
don't have a jungle. Yeah, I know. Phase boots, right?
Why that thing?
Has to survive. She's trying to go to, like, any lane that he can, right? And just get experience. He's not even buying up that tome, but he can't be in lanes for long.
I think this is EHOME just Hail Marying at 11 minutes in the game. The phase boots on the AA are just really quirky, because that's really not going to scale well into the late game, but then again, looking at the early game, I'm not quite sure what the late game plan is. There is going to be a Crush here. Innocence may have to give up his life to swap back the bench, putting in some work. Venomous Gale is going to be dropped, and now, okay, we have Ice maybe going out. Will TP out. We'll end up just getting free getaway. No one going down just yet. In fact, the Doom ends up dropping. This is really good. Innocence may go down here. No! Gets back to base with, like, no HP. This is ridiculous how far ahead Wings are. I cannot believe they didn't lose anything out of that. I cannot believe they got 2 return picks.
They're just way too far gone. We're starting to approach the 1,000 GPM lead, which is just... I think that's the insurmountable one. I think it's like 900 or something. It's never been brought back from around the 10 and the 15 minute marks.
Yeah, it gets to be like a 99% once you reach the 1,000 per minute, and it's now going to be a Echo Saber picked up for the Broodmother, and she can just go in and keep going ham. She's 1-0-1, so she hasn't been like picking up rampages or nothing, but the lane push she's put out is unreal, and well, now she's going to be farming up an entire jungle camp, and Doom scouting it out. There's not much he can do unless he wants to Scorched Earth and walk around and kill spiders, but well, the Exterminator didn't call yet. He has that casual Windlace, so maybe looking for the drums at some point. Broodmother may get forced back as the Slardar is hungry. Does he have any sort of detection? No. He's just hoping for a nice crush. The AA Blast comes out. They get the kill, or rather the hit, onto the, nothing. They were hoping Broodmother was under there, but...
They have to try something. Like, this is the only kind of play that they have. One thing you always know about Broodmother is that she's always going to be more far... Oh, top lane. I mean, it's not going to be that exciting. Okay, this TP's will be exciting.
He's just getting dragged around, and that's really just buying space, because again, he is raged up. Meanwhile, Drow Ranger just gets the pick onto Slardar like it's nothing. And now looking for more. At this point, it's 2-13. Do you cut your losses? Because I don't see any comeback mechanics from EHOME. They don't have quick lane push. They don't have good high ground defense. And Wings, this is a Drow strat. Like, it's kind of silly at this point.
Yeah, the plays on the Broodmother are just like the only option they have, because Broodmother's always gonna be one of these heroes that has more gold than actual like value because of the way that she's like built, especially early on in the game. So she turns into this what I like to call the gold pinata. So she kind of takes over your jungle. She's farming all these camps, but she's still relatively squishy and easy to take down. So if they had the time, they want to be ganking her like they just attempted, but they just made that commitment. It didn't work out, and now they have to go back to defending their towers, because if you spend too long hunting the brood, obviously you're going to lose any semblance of map control that you have left. And that one failed gank down bottom just like it just cancels out the next 2 minutes of your attempts of getting anything done.
A
A
Blast
smoke
actually
chase.
connects onto 3, which is nice. And there is that smoke chase, like you mentioned. They might get the crush here. Shadow in some trouble. They do have the swap out from the bench. They're going in. They do get a nice gust onto 3. Nice silence as well. Ice tossing out the wave of terror. It's a little bit off the mark, and they are going to go through. Ice may give up her life. Again, TPing out. May end up getting out free. Does get out free. And now Drow looking to turn things to Doom onto the Dazzle, but Dazzle's tanky enough to live. That's a weird thing to say. And now there is a Shadow Blade on Drow. If things get hairy, she is going to get crushed up. I think she just Shadow Blades out. There is going to be a dust, though, so she can't Shadow Blade. Now, okay, Broodmother gets a kill on the Ancient Apparition. They're going to get dragged here onto the Doom. And now there is going to be a nice ulti from the Venom that will end up picking up the Shadow. They do have the Shallow Grave, though. They're going to cast it out. Oh, the Crush will make sure that Drow ends up dropping her Aegis. Now Batrider in some trouble as well. They do have the positive armor on there from the Dazzle Weave, and can they continue to turn this? They're going to go through, plop in, plop out. Can they cancel the TP? Flame Break does the job, and that's going to be a triple kill for Shadow, who almost went down, popped the Aegis, and came back with such a vengeance. Now Crush, they're looking for something. Slardar, one hit away from going down. Batrider, can you make it? And no, the blink out will secure. At least Slardar gets out okay, but the rest of his team not so lucky. Kill score is now 2 and 17. The gold
Brood's
is now
taking your racks.
Brood's taking your racks. The gold is
Not
now
an ideal
absurd.
situation.
The GG
AA's
is called.
TPing to here and calling GG.
Alright,
Yeah.
so a little bit of tilt exercise from EHOME.L, but overall Wings, they show themselves as a dominant Tier 1 team, and sometimes it's hard to see when you go in battles up against other Tier 1 teams where there's mistakes and there's missed calls, but in this game, Wings came in, they had a plan, they executed flawlessly, and they just won at 15 minutes in. Arguably, GG could have been called at 10 minutes in, but at least EHOME, they show a little bit of resilience. So that's going to conclude this 2-0 series for now. It's going to be Wings taking a very, very commanding series. And that's going to be it for you, Motpax, joining me on this cast today. So hopefully you've enjoyed his analysis. Great having you on, as always. So where can everyone find you?
Oh, well, you guys can check me out on Twitter, at Mopx. Also, I suppose on Twitch, too. Just same thing. Sometimes I'm streaming. I'm a general caster around all the time. You see me on Join Dota, BTS, all over the place. And cheering for Complexity at the Major, so send them some love. You know, I'll try and help them out as much as I can.
You're not cheering for Wings after that?
No, unfortunately not. Generally, I have to look up too many things on Wings, and then, Swindles gets mad at me when they lose, so I gotta be really cautious over these next couple of days. But no, thanks for having me, and enjoy the rest of the evening with DPL. What's the next matchup that you got?
We have Vici Gaming Reborn versus Duaobao. That's going to be an awesome one coming up next.
That'll be good.
I'll be bringing on Sindar as my co-caster, so stick around for more Dota 2 Professional League action coming up in just a couple of moments.